Hi, I'm attorney Robert Geller, and I am a board certified consumer bankruptcy attorney in the state of Florida. And today, I want to talk to you a little bit or try to explain to you so that you can understand how your payment is determined in a Chapter 13 bankruptcy. So, to do that, basically, there are two major tests that determine your payment plan in Chapter 13. The first test is that we look at what your assets are. So in Florida, assuming you've lived in Florida for about 2 years, if you were to file a Chapter 7 bankruptcy and you don't own a home, you would get to keep a total of $6,000 in assets. Now, that doesn't include your house, that doesn't include your retirement plan, it doesn't include some things, but generally, it includes all your personal property, cash in the bank, maybe a paid off vehicle. So in Florida, if you don't own a house, you get to keep about $6,000 worth of stuff. If you do own a house, you only get to keep roughly $2,000 worth of stuff. $1,000 for your personal property and $1,000 for your automobile. So let's say in your situation that you own a house and you have $1,000 worth of household goods in your house, and let's say that you have a car that's worth $10,000. Well, that means that you have a total of $11,000 in assets, and you get to keep, like I said, $1,000 for your personal property and $1,000 for your car. So you're going to be over what you're allowed to keep by $9,000, potentially, if you're filing a Chapter 7. Well, Chapter 13 bankruptcy looks at that same analysis to determine how much your payment would be. So potentially, because you're over by $9,000 in your assets, if you were to file a Chapter 7, then you would have to pay back approximately the $9,000 in a Chapter 13. Now, there are a lot more details to it than that. It is a little bit more complicated than that. But basically, if you're paying back the $9,000 and you're in a 5-year plan, you would be paying back roughly $150 a month for 5 years, because that's 60 months, 150 times 60, $9,000. There is another test, though, that determines how much your payment is. And you pay the greater of the two tests, the asset test or this test I'm about to talk about, in determining what your payment plan is. So the other test is called the means test. And the means test is a test that is used in bankruptcy court to determine, first of all, whether you're eligible to file a Chapter 7 bankruptcy. And it's also used to determine how much you'd have to pay back to your creditors. So generally, and I'm just going to talk about generally what the means test is without trying to confuse everyone, but generally we take your paycheck, your gross income, and then we deduct everything that comes out of your paycheck, and then you get certain allowances for your mortgage payment or certain other allowances for food. You get certain allowances for everything you buy at Publix or Walmart. And then you deduct everything that comes off that gross income. You deduct your taxes. You deduct everything from that means test, and you get a number. Let's say, in this situation, that number is $300 after deducting everything that the means test says. Well, 300, let's say you're that same person who has that $9,000 in assets. 300 a month would be what the means test says you have to pay. The asset test says you only have to pay $150 a month over 60 months. So you're going to have to pay the greater of the two. You're going to have to pay 300 as opposed to 150. Let's say the means test says you only have to pay $100 a month. Well, because you have 9,000 in non-exempt assets, or dividing that by 60 months, you'll pay you 150. The asset test will prevail and not the means test. So that's generally how a Chapter 13 plan payment is determined. It is more complicated. You definitely should consult with an experienced bankruptcy attorney who can help you through all this and help you through determining that payment plan. I'm Robert Geller. I want to help you build a bridge to a brighter future. If you have any questions about bankruptcy, Chapter 7, Chapter 13, Chapter 11, feel free to give us a call or message us on Facebook. Thank you.